Well. Good morning, West Ham fans. Hope your Sunday is going swimmingly. Apart from West Ham having to ruin the long bank holiday weekend, thank you very much. Didn't do anything yesterday, and I tell you for why. I got some horrible from Friday night until into Saturday. Some horrible social media stuff from people, DMs, messages, that type of thing. Honestly, it's like I wouldn't wish some of those words on my worst enemy. And you're a West Ham fan. If you listen to me, shame on you. Honestly, grown men saying some horrible things to a fellow West Ham fan. I would never wish that on you or my worst enemy. So, yeah, that's done now. That's it. I'm big enough clearly to take it on the chin or take it on the belly. But nah, if you're doing it to other people, look at yourself in the mirror, honestly. You're meant to be West Ham fans. And nah, that's not on. Anyway, let's get back to matters in hand. We have got a week to save our season. I'm not worried. I'm not talking about what's happening upstairs. I'm talking about West Ham as a unit. We've got a week, or West Ham has a week to save the season. And by saving the season, significant investment in the team is needed now. It's if we don't get significant number of players in, and by significant, I'm not saying one or two, I'm looking at 3 or 4 at least, then I am worried. I'm worried for our Premier League survival, because by the time January comes along, we could be too far gone there. I'm painting a worst case scenario. I mean, I'm not usually one to panic, but the last 2 games haven't given me any confidence in terms of what's going to happen for the rest of the season. I'm not talking about last season. That's in the past. I'm concentrating on this season now. And what we're seeing now already does, to me, parallel what happened last year with 𝗪𝗘𝗘. I know I'm not looking back, but I'm using it as reference. In that you saw a couple of bits of decent football, but mainly you saw a defence that was leaking goals. And I believe it's the worst start of a Premier League side ever or something like that. It's just simply not good enough. Simply not good enough. We look like a team that's basically trying to put together, it's like a puzzle, but the puzzle from different puzzles. We had the people Moyes brought in, the people Steidem brought in, the people Potter's brought in, Julian Lopetegui's men, and it just gone. And unfortunately, and it's not what, and it's not merging. It's not merging. Yes, we've let a lot of people go. I think 6 have gone out on frees. Soufal and that lot, they've gone on for fees. On freeze. Obviously, Alvarez has gone to Fenerbahce. Kudus has gone to 3 Point Lane. All that type of stuff. But there's still so much to be done on this side, and I just don't understand. We always say we need to get business done early, and this is a case in point. Someone like 𝗪𝗘𝗏 𝗪𝗔. I made a point on our WhatsApp group that a goalkeeper is a really strange position in that you've got to build a relationship with the 4 guys in front of you, 5 guys in front of you. And the way you do that is in training, is in reps, is in games, is in all these types of mini games, all that type of stuff. Finding out what people do, and their natural, defensively, when he needs to go forward, when he needs to let the defenders take over, commanding his box, giving the defenders confidence of commanding his box. And that takes time. It really does. It's not like something you can bring in. And yeah, we might have saved 15 million quid by not signing him a month earlier, but that 15 million quid really refers to about 3 places in the Premier League table. And if you went down, that'd be 100 million quid or so. You'd lose straight away. So it might seem like a deal at the moment, but to be honest, if it could come back to bite us on the arse. It really could. The stats don't lie. The season's poor. We've seen a side which I think is bereft of any confidence, bereft of any. I don't know, bereft is a very good word, though. Bereft of any oomph, fight. I saw a side yesterday on Friday, rather, which didn't have any, nothing for us to feel like they were trying. I'm not saying they weren't trying, because they probably were, but it wasn't being communicated to us. as fans. I walked away thinking really flat. Someone mentioned it was a bit like someone leaving someone's funeral, and it was a little bit like that. It felt really somber outside. It only took me 40 minutes to get home, which showed to me that everyone has just fucked off and gone home. And everyone's in their right to fuck off and go home, I think, to be honest. We haven't got any points on the board. We play Wolves on Tuesday, which I think is a great opportunity to maybe build some momentum. I'd like to see a few of the academy boys, or the pathway boys, as I call them now, Callum Marshall, people like that, play and start building something to go into that Nottingham Forest game away next week. And then international break, and then Spurs. We could get to the end of September. We're at a point already and chasing our tails even more so than we are. More than possible. And I just fear if we don't do any business or any significant business now, this week, then by the time January comes along, we're too late. And similarly, that's why I don't think that Potter will be sacked like before the Forest game, or I think he'll be backed. And I think someone said it, back or sack or back, and I think that's very true. That's very true. If they're not going to invest on him, then get rid. It's going to cost you 10 million quid, I reckon, to get rid of him, isn't it? Something like that. Plus bringing in new people. So, if it's, we seem to be in this, proverbially in this sort of issue, but I just feel this year, particularly with the likes of 𝗪𝗘𝗞 going, who, although he had a poor season last year, did offer an outlet. Without him there now, obviously Somerville's still injured. Guilherme's still injured. We lack genuine pace. We need some pace in that forward line. Bowen's not quick. He's not a quick player. He's not like a 𝗪𝗘𝗞 type. I think 𝗪𝗞 was much quicker than him, and I think Somerville was quicker than him. He's not slow, but he's not quick. I think we need at least 2 midfielders. I think we still need a centre half as well. And I think we need 4 players in. Can I see us getting 4 players? I can't. I genuinely can't. And that's what worries me. We may be able to plug a gap by bringing in 2 midfielders or a midfielder and a forward. But again, it's for me. I just don't. I worry what happens if we don't get these players in, because it would be cataclysmic to be in the champ to get relegated. And that's why I don't agree with the adage. I read someone saying we're sleepwalking into relegation. I think being relegated is the worst possible thing that would happen from a business perspective, from the shareholders. If we went down, the value of their club, the value of their shares pretty much goes down 50%. Next year, we've got a new shirt manufacturer. We need a new front of shirt sponsor. We need a new front of, which could include the stadium rights naming rights as well. We have to be in the Premier League. We have to get the most value out of that. And at the moment, there's nothing that I would say points to us doing that at the moment. We've lost 2, we're bottom of the league, and we look like a side that's dead on its feet. Which also worries me in terms of potential players. If you're looking at clubs that you want to go to, do you want to go to a side that's just been thumped 5-1 by Chelsea? No. I would probably turn away if that was me, to be honest. And it does sound like it might be the case with Magassa, in all honesty. We were linked with a bid, we got rejected, we were going to go back in, but it looks like maybe Magassa is not fancying a move to West Ham. Now, the next one down is 𝗬𝗟 from Torino. And again, different perspectives. Some people think, it's a scattergun approach. For me, I think actually they've got a list, they've got a list in maybe priority of players they want. So it's not like they're scrabbling around. They've got players lined up. Maybe I'm the king of wishful thinking. That's me. I'm positive, Pete. I can't help it. I've never changed. I'm never going to change. That's what I do. And I always try and find some rhyme or reason, but I can't find a rhyme or reason why we haven't bought any fucking players. Because by not investing, there's a high chance of us going down. And then the money involved in terms of relegation is almost non-existent. And the value of the club reduces tremendously. But But yeah, I'm going to get lots of comments in this, and I welcome them, of course. All I say in the comments is please be respectful and nice to each other. Don't, have a difference of opinion, but be respectful. Regardless of where you are on the spectrum, on the Potter in, Potter out spectrum, or whatever. We are all West Ham fans. We all support the same club, regardless of what's going on in here. On the badge, it's always West Ham for us, and remember that it's near the heart as well. It really shook me a little bit yesterday, in terms of some of the things people were saying, because I'm a West Ham fan. Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter what people. I've been called a stooge. I've been called. I'm not. We don't get paid by anyone to give news or to spin anything. What I say is what I say. What Anton says is what Anton says. What Holly says, what Holly said. What Budgie and Kieran say is what they think. We've always been like that. We try and have a cross section of people in terms of different opinions. I have a different opinion to Anton quite often, not. We have Irish Tommy on here. She's really getting back on actually Irish now, new season. We try and have a spread of different opinions because that's natural. But don't ever question my West Hamness. That is a non-negotiable. All right, this is called the West Ham Network. We talk about West Ham every day. West Ham is a massive part of my life. Huge. 25 years I've been pressing the button, been the button monkey at West Ham. 25 years. Before that, I was season ticket holder for 15 years before that. All right. Just want to get that point across because, yeah, it's not nice people out there at the moment, and that's the shit side of social media. Anyway, if you like what we do, give it a like. Be much appreciated. If we sign anyone, I'll let you know. And tomorrow, we'll probably have we'll do the Hammers headlines and stuff. We'll have the Academy show as well. The only West Ham channel out there to do a show just on the Academy. Don't you ever forget that. And we'll have the Academy show tomorrow. Lots to talk about. Players out on loan. Not a great weekend for the under-21s. 18s did a bit better than last week. But yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. And then Tuesday, we'll have the starting 11 show. We'll have match day morning. We'll have stat attack, all that good stuff. Because tomorrow is another day, isn't it? Tomorrow is another. What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours. Anyway, take care. Stay safe. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your bank holiday weekend. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Much love, motherfuckers. Peace out.